Hey, what up, this is my TNA Genesis 2009 pay-per-view review. The opening match was a 6-man elimination match with Sonjay Dutt teaming up with Jimmy Rave and Kiroyshi versus Eric Young, Homicide, and Hernandez. Definitely a very good, enjoyable opener. A lot of fast-paced stuff like you would expect in here. Definitely a very enjoyable opener. The way the eliminations went, the first elimination was Sonjay Dutt eliminated Eric Young. The next elimination was Jimmy Rave eliminating Homicide, which kind of really shocked me because I really wanted Homicide to go further in this match, which was probably the only problem with this match was Homicide shouldn't have gotten eliminated so early in the match. So then what they did was, at that point, Eric Young and Homicide were both eliminated, and then it was 3-on-1. Hernandez was the only person left on his team. And then, probably everyone expected, when that happened, Hernandez just, went crazy eliminating people. The first person they eliminated was Kiroyshi. Then the next one was Sonjay Dutt. Then it ends up being Hernandez and Jimmy Rave as the final two in the match, and Hernandez picks the victory up for his team after hitting a frog splash to Jimmy Rave in a 3-star match. Definitely a very good way to start the pay-per-view off with. Then the next matchup was easily the match of the night, and definitely the match on this pay-per-view that if you check even one match on this pay-per-view out is definitely this match, and that's the X Division title finals, tournament finals match with Shelley versus Chris Sabin. Like you'd expect, this was an incredible match. These two worked very good like you would expect. A lot of good back and forth work. Just a very incredible match. These two got a good amount of time in the ring, which was the one thing I was worried the TNA might not do with them, is not give them enough time, but definitely they got enough time to do what they want. The only problem that some people might have with this match is the finish up here, but I think they did so much incredible stuff in the match, the finish didn't hurt the match at all. What they did was, during the match, Chris Sabin got hit with a slice bread number 2 from Shelley. On one occasion, Shelley went for the pinfall. Sabin kicked out. Then at the end of the match, Shelley went for the slice bread number 2 to Chris Sabin yet again. Sabin got out of it. Shelley fell down and kind of played off that he injured his ankle, and pretty much in a kind of heel fashion, he then rolls up Chris Sabin. But if anyone knows Shelley and the way he acts and how cocky he is, it's okay the way he ended up finishing it. Now, if it was Chris Sabin, I think it would have hurt the match if he would have won in this type of fashion, but it's okay that Shelley won in this fashion. Didn't hurt the match at all. Incredible match. Shelley is the X Division champion, and after the match, you see both of the Shelley and Sabin, you see them both hugging, so they don't really have any resentment towards each other for Shelley winning like that. Sabin knew that, Shelley didn't mean anything with it. Obviously, Shelley just wanted to get the X Division title, and just a very good match, 4 1/4 stars. Some people might think I'm overrating it, but definitely enjoyed the match a lot. Some people, like I said, might be critical of this match due to the ending of it with the roll-up or whatnot, but what they did before that was so good that, in my opinion, it didn't really hurt the match at all. Now, if there was a clear-cut and wet finish, this probably could have been a 4.5-star match. Definitely, already, early in the year, early match of the year contender, in my opinion. Then the next matchup is Sheik Abdul Bashir versus Sewell. And after those two matches at the beginning, the opener, then the Shelley and Sabin match, this pay-per-view seemed like it had a lot of potential. But after this, starting with this match, the pay-per-view kind of went downhill a little bit. And this match was the Sheik Abdul Bashir and Sewell match, like I said. And this has got to be easily the worst storyline angle that they got going this year, with the whole referee taking on Bashir, and what they did. I guess they did some type of angle on Impact where they said, you can't be in this match, you get fired for 3 days, and you can compete in this match on this pay-per-view. And not a good match at all. Wasn't expecting anything from it. I don't think anyone was. Very terrible match. And to no one's surprise, Sewell picks the victory up after a roll-up in a 1 1/4 star match. Easily the worst match of the night. Then the next matchup was the TNA World Tag Team title match, the 3-way, with defending champions Consequences Creed and Jay Lethal versus Abyss and Matt Morgan versus Beer Money Incorporated, James Storm and Robert Roode. And this was a lackluster tag team title match. I was actually expecting a little something from this. I thought this might have been one of those matches that could have maybe been a surprise match of the night that you wouldn't expect to be good, but it ended up being good. And it didn't do that. It kept dragging on, dragging on. Wasn't anything good in this match at all. And Beer Money Incorporated get the tag team titles back. The way this match ends is Abyss has won the tag team titles. He tries to hit Robert Roode with it. Robert Roode ducks, and he accidentally hits his own partner, Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan's knocked down, and then James Storm's out of the ring. He pulls Abyss out. Then at that point, the referee wasn't seeing any of this, so Robert Roode was on top of Matt Morgan, try to get the victory. Then you saw Jay Lethal go to the top rope, hit the elbow to the back of Robert Roode, and then you saw James Storm get in the ring, super kicked Jay Lethal. Then he just got in there, pulled Robert Roode and pulled him on top of Matt Morgan, and the referee got back in there for a 1-2-3, and Beer Money Incorporated regained the tag team titles in a 2.5-star match. An average match, but I was expecting a tad bit more from it. I thought it could have been maybe a whole lot better match than what it actually delivered. Then up next was the replacement match for the TNA Knockouts title. Now, I thought they might have went the route of Amazing Kong versus someone else for the TNA Knockouts title, but what they did in placement for the Knockouts title match, they did a 6-woman tag team match with whoever gets the pinfall in the match gets a future TNA Knockouts title shot, and the team, it was ODB, Roxxi, and Taylor Wilde versus the Kongtourage, which was Raisha Saeed, Soldier Bolt, and Raka Khan, and this was not a good women's match at all. Definitely a terrible women's match. Obviously, wasn't expecting too much from here, especially since pretty much the only talent in this match is Roxxi. Well, I guess you kind of could say Raisha Saeed is somewhat of a talent, but not as this gimmick. You know, the person that's under the Raisha Saeed gimmick, you know, cheerleader Melissa, is an excellent women's talent. I wish TNA would get her out of this Raisha Saeed thing and sometime have her just be cheerleader Melissa, because I think, you know, cheerleader Melissa is definitely one of those talents that really could ignite the Knockouts division, and definitely a match between cheerleader Melissa versus Amazing Kong for the TNA Knockouts title would be an excellent match. And gotta say, it's very mind-boggling how over ODB is. You know, no matter where she is, you know, whether it's the Impact Zone, on the road, or anything, she's highly over with the crowd. And it doesn't, I don't get why she's so over with the crowd. That was pretty much, I would say, the crowd pretty much was somewhat into this match because they were cheering for ODB from start to finish of this match. ODB picks up the victory after pinning and actually rolling up Raisha Saeed in a 1 3/4 star match. Then the next matchup is Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. And this match, definitely one of those matches that kind of helped this pay-per-view out a little more since, like I said, after the first 2 matches kind of went downhill up until this match with Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett in a grudge match, no DQ match, and definitely excellent stuff in here. Now, this wasn't an excellent wrestling match, but it was given what you were expecting, a brawl. You know, they were basically beating the living shit out of each other, brawling all outside the ring, and both of them got bloody. Jeff Jarrett was bleeding buckets in this match. Just a very good, you know, intense brawl. Really made it seem like they hated each other, and definitely gave you what you expected here. You know, they gave you the brawl that you expected and the utter hatred they have with each other. And the storyline, definitely, they worked very good in this match. I would definitely say this match, in my opinion, was a whole lot better than their first match, at least in my opinion. And the match ends when Kurt Angle pretty much... Jeff Jarrett's going for the pin, and Kurt Angle rolls him over, and Kurt Angle gets the victory in that fashion in a 3.5-star match. Like you see on this pay-per-view, there were a lot of roll-up victories in here. 3.5-star match with Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. Very good. They gave you what you want, which was a brawl. Then the next matchup was the Rhino versus Sting match for the TNA World Heavyweight title, and this was just a god-awful TNA title match. It was a match that wasn't even suitable for being on a pay-per-view. I wouldn't even say this match would be suitable being on actually on the TNA Impact show at all. Just wasn't anything good at all. Wasn't expecting much from it. Pretty quick match, which was the good thing they did here. Sting obviously retains the title, defeats Rhino after hitting the death drop to Rhino in a 2-star match. Definitely not a good title match for the pay-per-view. Definitely glad it didn't headline the pay-per-view, but nonetheless, even though that didn't headline the pay-per-view, the main event, which was the match with the main event Mafia, Booker T, Scott Steiner, and what they did here, they I guess they did some type of thing saying Kevin Nash was unable to compete tonight due to, I guess, the injury they suffered over in Japan, so they needed a new member for the main event Mafia in this match, and the person they got for it was just a terrible replacement for Kevin Nash. Not that Kevin Nash is good, but I think I would rather see Kevin Nash over their replacement, and that was Kip James, so I guess Kip is now a part of the main event Mafia, and they were taking on Mick Foley, Devon, and AJ Styles, and this was a piss poor main event. Wasn't anything that was exciting at all. AJ Styles got in some okay stuff, but it pretty much wasn't anything that enjoyable. What they did at first, the match got ruled out where everyone got counted out. So at first it was ruled as a double count out, as a draw that no one won. Then Jim Cornette came out there and said, "I'm gonna overrule this, restart the match." And then Booker T got on the mic, said, "You don't have the authority to do that." Then Mick Foley got on the mic, obviously with him being, I guess, the executive or whatever role he's playing in TNA, said, "No, I got actually the position to overrule this and restart the match." To Mick Foley restart the match, and it got restarted into being a hardcore match. And the one spot in here, which was actually good, was Kip James was on a table. You saw Mick Foley on top of an announce table. It looked like he was about to do a dive through the table. Booker T came from behind him, low below him, but then you saw AJ Styles do a dive over the top rope onto the table, pretty much a springboard splash to Kip James. Definitely probably the high point of this match was probably that. And the match ends with Mick Foley pinning Scott Steiner after hitting a DDT to a steel chair. So the main event Mafia actually do get the victory with Mick Foley's in-ring TNA debut in I would say a 2 1/4 star match. Wasn't a good main event. This pay-per-view did have 3 good matches. Like I said, the opener was very good. The Shelley and Sabin match was excellent, and the Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle match was good and gave you what you wanted. But the rest of this pay-per-view was pretty much complete garbage. So, even though this pay-per-view had 3 good matches and 3 matches I enjoyed, those matches that were bad really hurt this pay-per-view. So, at best, I think I have to give this pay-per-view a 6.75 out of 10. I was thinking about maybe giving it a 7, but the title match really hurt this. The main event match hurt this. And other than the 3 matches that I said that were good, there was nothing really of good value on this pay-per-view. So like I said, if you do check this pay-per-view out, you will enjoy the opener match. The Shelley and Sabin match is definitely the must-see match of the night, and the Jarrett and Angle match was good as well. So that's my TNA Genesis 2009 pay-per-view review, and yeah, that's it. Peace.